Welcome back to More to Marketing on Daily Ad Brief. I'm your host, Yasmin, and today we are in sunny Jacksonville, Florida with our guest, Daniel Burstein with MarketingSherpa joining me. Welcome to the program, Daniel.
Hey, thanks for having me, Yasmin.
It's great to have you. I want to go right into it and talk about MarketingSherpa. So tell us what MarketingSherpa is and what do you all do?
Basically, we just help the marketers of the world do their jobs better. So we publish case studies. We publish a podcast that's got real stories in it. The big thing we're trying to do is show, don't tell. Don't give opinions about what works in marketing. Actually show it with case studies, with real stories from marketing leaders.
Absolutely. And it's so funny because as marketers, we're always told never to market by asking for money or dollars or people to buy things. We're always told to be informational. So it's so interesting to me that you all created a company just surrounded by the concept of being informational. So can you tell me a little bit about why you all created this, why you focus specifically on, sharing information with other marketers?
Yeah, I remember when I first interviewed, and what caught this is 13 years ago, but what caught my eyes in the job description was discover what really works, right? And so that's really been our focus: discover what really works. MarketingSherpa has been around over 2 decades, so it's been around since really the early days of the internet. It's funny to call it that, but the turn of the century. And really back then, it even started with, look, there's a lot of opinions about what works in digital marketing. There's a lot of thought leaders. There's a lot of things they'll kind of preach to you and tell you, but hey, let's just see what actually works. Share some case studies, give some real stories, and that's what's going to draw people in, and that's what's going to ultimately help the marketers of the world.
Absolutely. And I'm curious because we've definitely seen marketing develops all the time throughout the years and a lot of things change. There's a lot of things that as marketers we test and we try and we're told that they work, and then years later new things come up and those old things don't work anymore. So how do you all combat those changes in marketing that are always happening? And have you had cases where something has proven successful in one of your case studies and now years later with the development of marketing you're seeing that you'll have to go back and change that?
Yeah, all the time. And what, our parent organization, MechLabs Institute, has come up with is an overall methodology really to help with constant experimentation. So what you're talking about, the biggest thing we teach is, hey, we're publishing these case studies, where we're publishing these stories, we're showing you what works. This is to spark ideas in you. This isn't to say, because we'll get people writing all the time and be like, wait a minute, I tried that. Well, maybe we had a case study with a B2B manufacturing company and you have, a B2C candy company or something like that. Or like you said, maybe it's, a few years later. So the whole idea behind the case studies is to spark ideas in you, in the marketers of the world, give you good ideas for your campaigns. And then like you said, then you got to test it. You got to get into A/B testing, experimentation, all the different ways to actually learn from your customers because things are constantly changing.
Definitely. So I'm curious on your take on content specifically, because we have platforms, all their platforms are different, they host different kind of audiences and they target different kind of people. But one thing that's always important across all of these is content marketing, whether that's written content or video content or, carousels or so forth. And we're seeing a lot of emphasis on video marketing. And what is MarketingSherpa's take on all of that?
Well, what it comes down to at a high level is providing value. So there's this kind of false idea that content marketing or content is free for the audience, right? So we'll just do this video, Yasmin, everyone will flock to it because it's free. Or you'll do a webinar or a podcast or an email newsletter. And what you have to make sure is that the content itself has a value proposition. So it's not just your paid product, but the content itself, because people are paying with their time, with their attention, with their information. So just like you would for a product, you got to treat it like a product, whether it's an email newsletter, whether it's a video, whether it's a podcast, and look at your competition and determine what is your unique value proposition in the marketplace. Why should people invest their time with you? And that comes down to, there's not one magic place to have it. It's understanding who your customers are, where they're going, where they can best be served.
Absolutely. And I love the emphasis you've put on value. It's all about creating value because at the end of the day, people are going to walk away and they're going to remember the value you left them, the way that made them felt more than anything else. Daniel, thank you so much for your time and sharing all this insight.
All right. Thank you, Yasmin.
To find out more about Daniel and the amazing work MarketingSherpa is doing, visit us at dailyadbrief.com and we'll see you next time on More to Marketing.